I'm Nikki Mewada, a senior member of the Alumni Committee. Today we have with us Ms. Nitya Mohan from the batch of 2016. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Nikki.
I welcome you to the Alumni.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So to begin with, from your early days in finance to becoming a CMO, how would you describe the evolution of your career in a few key milestones?
Yeah. So if you see this, there's only one line, honestly, which we can start with, that if you don't change, change will change you. And that has been the kind of mantra for my life, that, from where I started as someone who has learned finance to someone who has actually gone and done a lot of analytics in Genpact and JP Morgan, and then finally transitioning to a role of a CMO. It is all these learnings of, the key takeaways of doing the right analytics, to knowing all the basics of finance. It is applicable even in marketing. So all the ROAS, all the operational metrics that we said, knowing benchmarks, how to read a profit and loss statement, how to read a balance sheet, these things are important nevertheless, right? So these things really helped me. And some of the major milestones was, to be one of the youngest to be promoted in JP Morgan, like going into Genpact, a new city where I knew nobody. So taking that as a challenge and exploring and going with that. So it's very important in that sense that if you make a commitment to something, you need to see it through. And then same thing when I came as a role in marketing, and when I joined Amrita, CMO was just a designation. There was nobody who was actually under me, and I had to do everything, so right from posting on social media, answering customer queries, it got me that much closer to my customer that I was able to see, okay, now this is what they're asking. So why don't we come out with this product? We started only with Miracle Oil. So then we launched, a new product after that. So that's coming from the interactions with the customers. So it was very interesting to see how my role has evolved, from doing a lot of finance to taking on this role, doing everything as in marketing, performance marketing, influencer marketing, and then hiring the right folks to do it. Hopefully you are smarter than you. Like that should be the mantra for hiring, right? So it's been an incredible journey.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
So the Tribe concepts has grown into a very trusted name in the D2C market. So what have been some key brand building decisions that actually helped shape that journey?
Yeah. So it all starts with first, like I said, listening to the customers, because you get the most amount of insights when you just talk to them, even if it means picking up the phone or you're asking them for feedback. It's now how you take those feedbacks and make it into your marketing exercise. So when you're understanding your TG, you'll be able to serve them better. So that is something we started with, the kind of products we released, to the rebranding that we did when we heard them say, this we're not, comfortable using it like this, or this is not looking that good in my vanity. So we're like, okay, now let's change the image of the brand to, let's take it a notch higher. And even now, for that matter, like where there is so much change happening in the world, where there's a shift from liking, having an affinity to natural, to transitioning to, all scientific based ingredients. So now again, we are at an inflection point, right? See, how do we shift from here? So the market and dynamics keeps changing. As a marketer, we need to reevaluate our product. We reevaluate our promotion strategy. We did Samantha Root Prabhu. We did it when we were bootstrapped, so not having the funding money and still doing something as incredible as paying so much in marketing. It's a very big decision. You don't know what kind of ROI you will get. So really putting your mind on things in those campaigns. In fact, Samira Reddy still tells, we were the initial ones to collaborate with her, like even before Kama or anyone else did. Right when she was in a nascent stage, where like she's a mother, she has this affinity for natural. So it's choosing the right spokesperson for your brand, who are voices of vegan, cruelty-free, natural in the market. It just really enhanced our brand image. So these campaigns helped push and propel the brand image a lot. Apart from even showing our staff, our factory workers, they had a lot of connection to them. So yeah, these things really helped.
So moving on,
Yeah.
like as a woman in leadership role,
Yeah.
have you had any defining moments that actually shaped how you mentor or lead others the way?
Yeah. So it more than defining moments, it's like anyone in leadership gets certain caveats, especially women leaders. Like if you're given a seat at the table, use that opportunity to speak up, so it's very important to have a voice, and it's very important to kind of shed this image that many people have, that women managers are the worst, that they are not someone we can, this. So those things are very important, to lead with a lot of humility, and lead with a lot of understanding and patience. It takes that. Not everyone you get are diamonds. Like sometimes you just get the rocks. It's like it's your job to get the best out of them. So no matter who it is, it's always dealing with empathy is what I've understood and learned through this entire journey. That's why we give a lot of mental health counseling also as part of Tribe Concepts initiative, whether it's to our factory staff or anyone, that if you have or suffering through certain crisis, you need to seek help. We did since we're talking branding, we did an initiative where we gave 2,000 free first counseling session, like free. It was like we tied up with psychologists and psychiatrists across the country, and we did this as a campaign during COVID.
That's
Because
actually amazing.
because people were going through a lot of struggle, internal struggle, and that time they used to get calls that I'm actually suicidal, and how do I so we were able to take that first step in helping, and this built a lot of brand affinity because we connected with them on an emotional
That's such a
level.
nice initiative.
Yes.
So, just as a closure statement, for students or young marketers who are aiming to work in a brand strategy or D2C marketing, what's one practical piece of advice you'd like to pass on?
I think treat yourself as a product.
Okay.
Right?
That's very unique. Advice.
Yeah. So you need to treat yourself as a product in the sense of really knowing what value are you bringing to the table, what is your positioning as a so-called product, right?
Yeah.
So what is the thing that you're really going to enrich someone's life? Again, what is the brand image? What is your brand image, right? And what are the associations you're going to make? Who are you going to hang out with? Who are you going to, so all those things are important in building your overall image. So as any marketer would say, it's like it starts with you first and what you think. So yeah, I think this is what it is like.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your advice.
Thank you. Really nice talking to you.
Thank you.